Hello, folks. It's here, finally, the last day of 2020. I don't know about y'all, I'd be glad to see 2020 go. But, we don't necessarily know what's ahead of us in 2021. But anyway, it is going. Only a few more hours left. I don't know about y'all, I'm really happy for that. So, let me start with some good news. I always start with COVID, and we have had a pretty good week. We've only had two employees that have been tested positive. That's really good news because we've had as many as 10 in 1 week, and that was really disastrous. So only having two, especially after a Christmas holiday, that's really good news. So let's take what we can get. um, we do have a new year ahead of us, but there's some good things that are going to come down the pike in 2021. Frankly, the first and foremost is the vaccine is coming, and it really is coming. I wish I could tell you more than it really is coming, but I can't. There's been signs that the delivery from DHEC could be in almost any minute now, but nothing concrete. So today, right now, it's 12:15 and it's on Thursday, and DHEC will be closed tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure we're not going to get any vaccine this week. Hopefully, we'll see what happens next week, but at this point, I have no guarantees. We were promised, well, not promised, but DHEC had told us, oh, for sure, the FQHCs will have them by the end of the year, but that didn't quite happen. So we'll just have to sit tight. But that's really given us a little bit more time for us to get better prepared, probably. There's been nurses identified throughout the organization. You are reminded to register with those nurses. If you've got any questions, I probably can't answer them, but you can ask Tracy Thigpen who the nurse is. Your site administrator will also know who the nurse is. And if you really don't work in a site or are kind of scattered all around, our wellness nurses Donna and Danielle are going to handle those immunizations. So we are pretty prepared and anxious to get this vaccine and ready to see what we can do to keep this coronavirus better contained and more in control. We certainly do need a relief. 2021 is also going to bring us some more exciting things. I've mentioned before Chesterfield. The building is beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to go up there and take a look at it, do so. It is really pretty. Frankly, it makes all the rest of us jealous, but we're happy. Chesterfield has had to deal with problems like walls falling in from too much water leaking out of the roof that most of us haven't had to deal with. So we're happy for Chesterfield, and Dylan is getting underway pretty good. So things will be making a right good bit of progress. And don't forget, we've got a renovation that'll soon be underway in Society Hill at the what we call the St. David's Old School, which I don't want to say we fully got a donation, but it was darn close to it. So, and that'll be a good relief. We're getting really, really crowded in a lot of our administrative services, so it'll be very good to be able to get into St. David's. So there are some good things on the way. ECW, the new EHR, will settle down. It really, really, really will settle down. I think many of y'all that use ECW are finding out that once you got in there and were using it, that some of that training that was virtual didn't work out so good. And we're trying to support that now with additional training. And that does seem to be working out good because you've had a chance to figure out what works and what doesn't work in ECW. So we're going to keep that up. Remember, I've said this many a times. We are going to give you all the support we possibly can. It's not like it's been in the past where often an EHR was implemented and then the folks just went away and vanished. No, we did not want that to happen. So we've got our consultants, Blue Novo, and additional training with ECW. It is on tap. We're going to make sure that we support you. Um, so 2021, it's coming. Although I'm not going to get too optimistic about it. I don't want to knock on wood too much, but 2020 sure slapped us a hard one, and I don't want to jinx it, so to speak, with 2021. We had our COVID task force this morning, and I said, golly, I hate to even wish folks Happy New Year. Um, I certainly hope that it's a Happy New Year, but let's be very careful. Let's ring it in very slowly and quietly and not disturb the forces that be. But 2020 is over, or at least it will be in just 12 hours, according to my clock. We did some astonishing things in 2020. I know the coronavirus has just whopped us all upside of the head over and over and over again. But folks, as I kind of tried to step back and look at it, we implemented telehealth almost overnight. It was amazing. And it wasn't just us. Across the United States, organizations were finding that telehealth was the best solution they had to a lockdown. Patients still got sick, patients still needed care. And telehealth was pivoted to with us and with many, many other organizations. And now it's kind of become an optional way to do business. So that in and of itself was amazing. We learned an awful lot about being able to do laboratory testing pertinent to the COVID-19 testing, but we learned about it. We learned how to do mass testing. We learned how to do testing in drive up scenarios safely and effectively. And then, of course, we rolled out our Mobies. Our Mobies have gotten attention practically nationwide. We've got folks that want to come down and look at them and see the way we're doing them. I've responded to many, many organizations about where we got them, how we set them up, and things like that. So our Mobies have really been a model. We've even gotten written up in some areas. The National Association of Community Health Centers wrote us up for our Mobies as a best practice. HRSA has even included them as a best practice. So that's been pretty cool. Carousel setting the bar pretty high for organizations across the nation. Um, we've had some other big wins as we've moved through the coronavirus. I think one of the things that really impressed on me the most um, throughout this whole pandemic is how much the community trusts us, and they do. We see it manifested in so many different ways. Businesses and industries turn to us for their testing, turn to us for their medical and other needs. They trust us. And that's because they trust you. We really do make a big difference in the communities that we serve. Um, Take that to heart because that's really who we are at Care South. We are a community health center, and I never saw it manifested so strongly as I have over these last months in this pandemic, where I saw organization after organization turning to us for their needs and for their questions and for their services. That's that's a really big kudo as we close out this year. More than anything, I've learned about more about infection control than I probably ever wanted to know. You may be in that position also. I will never again take infection control training for granted. It is so important, and I have learned a lot, as I know that you have. A lot about hand washing, a lot about masking, a lot about how infections spread. So it's been a real learning curve for me and for probably many of us. So as we take a deep breath and we move into 2021, I do wish you all a very, very happy new year. But I do so with my normal beg to you is to do so carefully, do so safely. I'm going to tout once again mycovidrisk.app. If you want to do something, take a look at it. Figure out whether or not it's something safely you can do. There is a big risk out there still. We are seeing the highest infection rates than we've ever seen. The whole state is over 30%, and our service area, though, is a little bit less, but it's still very, very high. So it is still a tough time ahead of us. We've got the New Year's holiday, and then right on its heels, we'll have another holiday. Martin Luther King in the middle of January will be another holiday. So we're not out of the woods yet. Be safe, stay strong, stay well, keep all those around you healthy, and have a good holiday. Thank you.